What's up, my friend? Why didn't Samson argue with Delilah? Well, it's because he didn't want to split hairs. Just a joke, my friend, from the book of wisdom to warm up things before we start. Listen to what it says today. We normally read from it every day. Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They are ever praising you. Blessed are those whose strength is in you, who have set their hearts on pilgrimage. As they pass through the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs. The autumn rains also cover it with pools. They go from strength to strength till each appears before God in Zion. That is Psalm 84 4 going down. Interesting soul. On this channel, we are dedicated to making sure all people in the whole world are united, living in peace and honesty with one another, and above all, my friend, having the love of God in each and everyone's heart, loving their neighbor the way they love themselves. We spread our message, my friend, by reacting to videos, all types of videos from this whole world, my friend, with the intentions of making sure the whole world is full of good vibes. So, my friend, before we dive in, there is one thing also we really recognize here, which is our Supreme Creator. We always acknowledge them with a word of thanks before we begin the show. For we know to unite all His creations, we need His help. Let's give thanks. Thank you, wonderful Father, for this day. Thank you for your goodness, your love, your protection. All glory and honor belong unto you. Thank you, dear Lord Father, for your spirit in this wonderful viewer's life, Father. Thank you. All glory and honor belong unto you, Father. You know their lives, their hearts, their minds, Father. May you please grant them all that they may require and need, Father. Wash them all their sins, this viewer, and make them clean. Fill us with your spirit as we react to these videos and guide us all through. In your holy name, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in, interesting soul. Good vibes all the
one time when he says, we could go 9 years. We could go 13 years. We could go 17 years. Now, what is the 9th letter of the alphabet? I. What is the 13th letter of the alphabet? M. And what is the 17th letter of the alphabet? Q. I. M. Q. Is that when we hang it up in 5 years, or 9 years, or 13 years, or maybe 17 years. He said it right in front of us. 9, 13, 17. Hey, guys. Hey, not being subtle here.
You see this trail cam image of these 3 deer? Do you notice anything odd? Come on, you gotta notice this one. They all got lights between their antlers and on their heads. Yeah, lights. Now I'm gonna show you those light deer a little closer. But I'm gonna tell you, I think I have an idea of what this is. And while I don't want to be a buzzkill, I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one. So as we look closer at these shabba deer, you can see the lights between the antlers don't look like they're connected to the deer at all. But the smaller lights, they do really look like they're over their eyes. Or near their eyes. Let's look at another closer image. As you can see, it's almost like they're decorated with Christmas tree lights. That's the first thing I was thinking when I saw this. That somebody dressed them up like a Christmas tree. Now what I think is going on, I don't think this is anything paranormal whatsoever. I believe somehow these deer either got lights stuck on them, or more than likely, this image is CGI. Yeah, I kind of believe this image is fake. Not the deer are real. The lights, I think they were added later. Like I said, don't want to be a buzzkill, but that is my opinion. Let me know your opinion, Booshkies, in the comment section. Shabadoo!
Hey, what is that thing? Yeah, English people, it's like you have a new design of prince there.
Okay, how does it work? How do they actually clone? As always, take it or leave it. It's pretty wild. All right. So, first of all, they get the influential person's DNA. And remember, even though I've only remote viewed a cloning base in America, in the United States, I'm sure they have cloning bases all over the world. I just haven't gone there. So they essentially get the person's DNA, and then they, it's kind of like creating a baby. How do I say this? It's like creating a baby in like a fake embryo sac, like a fake uterus, but instead of creating a baby, they're creating like a full human body, and they'll do like an age progression. So the clone will come out the same age as the time of the person's DNA, if that makes sense. And then essentially that clone body will start aging from that time, so that the aging is related to the person in real life. Okay, so they're able to do that. I'm not a scientist. I have no idea how they do that, but that's what I've seen. I've seen all of the different stages of them creating these bodies, and they all get created at that age. They don't like create a baby and then age advance them. The clone body is created at the age that the DNA is taken. Okay, and then it just ages with that person, so that when and if that person needs to be replaced, they wake up the clone body, and we're going to talk about that. So hold on. Yep. Okay. So once a clone body is ready, right, they transfer a consciousness into it. So what's really fascinating is that body is essentially just an empty vessel, and it's a bunch of machines that are keeping the body, the blood pumping, the body moving, all of that. The problem is that when a body is not connected to the technology, it can't function, right? And I know that I've looked into organic robots before, and that's a whole other story. But essentially, in order to have a body, and also there's like this whole concept of NPCs, which I believe in to an extent, but it's very nuanced. So anyway, in order for the clone body to operate, it has to have a fractal of source energy. Think about source energy, or the universal energy, or consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Think about that as the battery pack that you put into a body. The machine, the body, it's not going to move, it's not going to go, it's not going to live and exist autonomously without this fractal of source, right? This connection to energy. And so this is where it gets kind of weird, right? So essentially they have a room in this cloning facility, and in the room there are these like canisters, and in the canisters are different consciousnesses, different souls, I guess. And those souls, and I haven't gone into like how they even get the souls, like how do they even harvest the souls, which is a whole other thing that I'd be curious to look into. But essentially they take these canisters and they put it into a machine, and like imagine the clone body sort of sitting in a chair. They put the canister in a machine, and then it like kind of shoots the consciousness into the body, and that's what allows the body to function free of the machines. Now, sometimes they will use the same consciousness as the real body or the previous clone body. The reason why they would want to do that is the previous consciousness already has all of the mannerisms, all of the memories, all of the experiences of the previous clone. Typically what they do is once they get rid of the original person, they also get rid of the original soul. The problem is that the reason why they wanted to get rid of that person to begin with is because they were rebellious. They were fighting back. Of course, they don't want to bring that rebellious spirit back into a new body. So what they do is they take kind of a random consciousness and they put it into the clone body, and then it goes through a process of programming. Very similar, very, very much so based on the old school MK Ultra programming. They will program the consciousness to work with, like we're talking about the physical rehabilitation, the mental, the language, the dialect, everything. Like this consciousness has to now work with a brand new body, and it has to work with a series of, mannerisms and everything. So it goes through about a 6-month period of intense training and programming to become that individual. That's why it's really difficult to kill someone off and bring in a clone right away. There's usually a period where that person is not seen for a long period of time when they're sort of establishing that new clone, right? It's very fascinating. Once again, take it or leave it. I get how crazy this sounds. Oh yeah. And then another interesting fact, clone bodies only last so long, kind of like what I was talking about with Michael Jackson. His was the first public clone, and it really just deteriorated. There's something about, I tried asking about this, there's something about like the cells, right? Like, so as we age, we have these like half-lives, you know, our cells get, they don't have like as much whatever we need to stay young and healthy. And so the clone bodies, it's almost like the aging and the deterioration is like rapid, right? And so before, they would only last anywhere between 3 and 5 years if they were lucky. Nowadays, these new clones are lasting anywhere between 10 and 15 years is what I've seen. But still, they don't last very long for a variety of reasons, but it's just...
People like my infrared camera showing that the infrared goes through a plastic bag. So I'll show you a couple other things. Here is a glass pane, so you can see it in both visible light and infrared. Yes, my fingers are cold. Notice that, look. You can see through it, but infrared does not go through glass. Now, if I come over here and I do this, right there, you can see me in the glass, right? So glass does reflect infrared, but it does not transmit infrared. Now, here's the next one people ask for, aluminum foil. Again, doesn't go through this at all. I could wrap my head in it, that's what you wanted. Okay, I just do whatever you want. And here's one more, I like this one. This is the space blanket material. You'll notice that the whole point is that it reflects infrared, so you can't see through it. You can also reflect infrared. You can see my hand over there kind of. So there you go.
Chalkboards are painted green to protect our eyes. That's also somewhat new. Chalkboards used to be naturally black. Before the 1900s, most chalkboards were stone. They were a big flat piece of slate stone, which is black. Manufacturers left it that color. In the early 1900s, manufacturers experimented with cheaper ways to do this. They either joined together a lot of pieces of flat wood, or they made a very thin sheet of steel. Wood and steel are not black. Manufacturers painted that black for a few decades to keep up the tradition. Then around the 1930s, they switched to dark green paint. Dark green cuts down on the glare that you would get on a black chalkboard. It is easier on the eyes. Schools don't swap out their chalkboards very quickly, but over the next 60 years, the black ones gradually got replaced by green ones. In the 90s, a lot of schools started moving toward whiteboards or toward digital screens, but that has not eliminated the green boards on many walls. Because they're cheap, they're traditional, and they're easier on the eyes than black or white or pixels.
The other night, my 11-year-old dropped this truth bomb on me. We had just finished doing a devotional about Jesus being born in Bethlehem. Bethlehem meaning the house of bread, which is cool because Jesus referred to himself as the bread of life. So anyone that follows him is fed on a deeper level than the physical hunger, one that a lot of us spend a lifetime trying to fill with other things. And after this 10-minute discussion of this devotional about the birth of Jesus and the bread of life, I was headed out the door when my 11-year-old said, "Hey, Dad, you know when you have a fresh, hot out of the oven loaf of bread and you break it open, the smell fills the room." I went back in and said, "Could you say that one more time?" He said, "You know when Mom bakes a fresh loaf of bread and breaks it open, the aroma fills the house." Oh, I think we're having church now. Have you ever considered that your life is like an aroma that fills the room? 2 Corinthians 2 says we are the aroma of Christ to this world. That means you're a fresh, hot loaf of bread. See, that aroma comes from what's inside of that which has been broken. So when we have Christ inside, we have the bread of life inside of us. And when we experience trials and things that break us open, the aroma from within is what fills the place. If what's inside of us is bad, it'll fill the room with a bad aroma. But when Christ is inside of us, the aroma of the bread of life fills that place. The outside of us may look rough and tattered, but the inside smells incredible. And the heat that we experience in life is not to destroy the bread, but it's to finish the work on the inside of the loaf so that when it's opened, the aroma of the bread of life pours out. And the world around us feeds off of the bread of life. You smell that? It's the bread of life permeating the place in which you stand.
Interesting. The invisibility shirt was invented. What? Look at this. Yo. You see, if you come with this to this side of the world, and this was clearly my fellow Africans. I'm surprised. Where did they get this one? Oh, man. Ah, is this what people call witchcraft? My God. These guys, they need to check up on them. Hey, this is crazy. They even have a sheet, a whole sheet of this. My God. Wow, 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 wow. May robbers not see this. You see, good people of earth. This is unbelievable. Hey, this is crazy. Can you imagine the things or in many ways that this thing can be used? Yeah? Incredible ways. Leave some of the ways that you could think about in the comment section. If you are given such type of a sheet, how would you use it?
This is how to get anything you want. The mirror principle. The mirror principle tells us that reality is like a mirror. You have an image and you have a reflection. What happens is that you cannot change the reflection. You need to just change the image, right? I can't change the reflection. I need to change what I'm putting in front of the mirror. The image is your life. The reflection is your life, and the image is your mind. Whatever your mind thinks is what's going to be reflected into your life. Now, I cannot change my life within the reflection, right? That's like me looking at myself in the mirror and seeing that I have a stain and clean the mirror. And the stain is still there, and I clean the mirror, and the stain is still there. The stain is not going to go, because what I need to change is the image. I need to change the image. To change the image in life, basically in our reality, the image is our mind. I cannot change my life if I don't change my mind. My mind is what's projecting, is what's being reflected into my life. Now, how do we change the mind? Well, in order to change the mind, we need to understand how the human mind works. The human mind has 3 levels that coincide with the 3 dimensions. We have the 3D, which is our conscious mind. Then we have the 4D, that is the subconscious mind. And then we have the 5D, which is the quantum field, the field of possibilities, God, the source, however you want to call it. This is high, high, high energy. In our 3D, our conscious mind, that's everything we can see with our 5 senses, right? This is what we see as our life. What happens is that our life, like we said, is a reflection of what? Of that image. The image is in our subconscious mind. Whatever is in our subconscious mind is what's becoming our life. Here in the subconscious mind is our core beliefs are. Our core beliefs have been created since we were born. Everything we watched, everything we observed, everything we heard from our parents, teachers, friends becomes our core beliefs. Maybe we heard, oh, if you do that, you're going to get sick. Or your mom and your grandma had this illness, so you're going to get it too. Becomes a core belief. Our core beliefs become our life. Now, what happens is that in the 5D, in the quantum field, this is the field of possibilities. Everything exists at the same time, all at once. You have the you sick, the you healthy, the you in a loving relationship, the you in a toxic relationship, the you poor, the you wealthy, etc. All of these possibilities, like we said, exist at the same time in the quantum field, but they exist in the form of frequency, like a wave, in the form of energy. Think of water. You have water, and when you give it enough energy, high energy, high heat, it becomes vapor. Vapor, you cannot see it, but it's there. So how does this frequency become reality, become our 3D? It becomes particle by being densified. By being densified, it becomes particle, and then we can see it with our conscious awareness. So what happens is that we are choosing from the field of possibilities, but we're choosing from our image, from our subconscious, from our core beliefs, which means that our core beliefs are attracting like a magnet. They are attracting one of these possibilities, and that is what's becoming our life. All right? This choice is, again, subconscious. So I can say that I want money, that I want to be wealthy as much as I want. But if unconsciously I think that I am not worthy, or that money creates problems, or that only bad people have money, then from my core beliefs, I am going to be choosing the me poor. And that's what I'm going to think, feel, and act like a poor person. And that is what's going to become my reality. If you want to know what your core beliefs are, simply look at your life. Your life is a reflection of your core beliefs. Look at your bank account. That's going to be a reflection of your beliefs about money. Look at your love life. That's a reflection of your core beliefs about love, and etc. Now, if you want to change what you are attracting, what you need to do is begin to densify another of these possibilities. You choose. First of all, choose. You need to be certain. You need to know exactly what you want, how you want to feel. From that, you're going to choose, okay, I want to be rich. So what you're going to do is you're going to change your beliefs about money. You're going to start thinking, acting, and behaving like a person who is rich. And that's what you're going to attract. Remember, emotions are the fuel to be able to bring this into the 3D. So stop, if you want to stop being poor, what you're going to stop thinking, acting, behaving, and feeling like a poor person. Because you want money, not because you want the paper or the number in your bank account. You want money because it's going to make you feel what? Free, happy, abundant, grateful. All right. Begin to feel that way now. Once you feel that way now, that is going to be the image in your subconscious mind. And that is what you're going to attract. And that is what you're going to see in your material life. So you want to change what you see, you need to change the way you feel, think, and act. What happens is that sometimes people, we go back to the mirror. Sometimes people don't like what they see here because they are whatever, poor, right? And then they get upset because they are like, money is not coming, money is not coming, money is not coming. If I think money is not coming, what I am going to reflect is money is not coming, and money will never come. If I begin to feel abundant, no matter what I look in my reality, because I know that this is dead, this is only a reflection of this. This is only a reflection of the image. So I need to stop looking at my reality to determine how I feel. Because if I look at my bank account and I'm poor, so I feel poor, I continue to create the same reality where I'm poor. So I need to not look at it and understand that this is a result of my past beliefs. If I change how I feel now, this is going to change. Remember, the reflection is like a mirror, but it always comes with delay. So do not let your current reality, your current reflection determine how you feel. You need to change how you feel for the reality to change. If you continue to feel according to what you see in your reality, the reality you will not change. Remember, you cannot change your conditions right now, but you can change your thoughts, your image. And your image is what's going to determine your future conditions.
Do you guys believe in the theory that we all have a doppelganger or an unrelated twin out in the world, somebody who looks just like us? Well, take a look at this video. This man coming out of Colombia spots the identical twin who is not the twin to Scarlett Johansson, but the Latina version. And it literally looks just like her. I mean, this isn't an AI generated video. This is a real woman that he saw walking down the street, and it looks just like Scarlett Johansson. Do we all have a identical twin out there? Tell me what you think.
What? Even the person she resembles, I didn't know that their name. But I'm sure she resembles another person. If she's not that person, it's crazy. I'm surprised that person is called Scarlet something. Yes, look at this. This guy wrapped the full map around a ball. But this guy's part was quite intriguing. This is crazy. The surface, clouds, and oceans were put to match people's expectations of how Earth looks from space. Oh my god, that ball became the
After 58 years, we finally solved the moving sofa problem. It's a mathematical problem that asks, what's the largest shape that you can maneuver through an L-shaped corridor? So one simple solution would be a half circle, but you can do a lot better. This is the Gerver sofa, named after Joseph Gerver, who described it in 1992. Nobody managed to find a better solution since then, but we didn't know for sure if it was the best one. That changed a week ago when Korean mathematician Jin Beck published a preprint of a proof that Gerver's sofa is the optimal solution. It's a solid 100 pages, and it's really fun to just browse through all the crazy figures and think about how much time this one person had to spend on this one mathematical problem about one sofa shape. I respect the dedication. Remember though, this is a preprint, meaning other mathematicians still need to check that there aren't any mistakes in the proof. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm excited.
look at this. Drone with lights of 2 a.m. in New Jersey was recorded someplace. Any guess on how large this stuff could be, my friends? Huh.
Do you ever notice how many superheroes have the same first name initial as their last name initial? Like the Hulk, Bruce Banner, and Peter Parker. Bruce Banner, that kind of looks like a 6 and a 6 too. And Peter Parker, if you flip it upside down, also looks like a 6 and a 6. And Daredevil, DD, again, could be 6 and a 6. But Tyler, Deadpool doesn't have the same first and last name initial. Oh no? WW. And if you turn WW sideways, it looks a lot like 33. Who do I know that likes 33 a lot? Oh yeah, these guys, the 33-degree Freemasons. But what about Superman? You got nothing on Superman. Clark Kent. Clark, C3, Kent, K11, 3 times 11. Oh, that's right, 33. And I'm sure Superman's real name, Kal-El, has absolutely nothing to do with Hal-El or another name for Lucifer. Nope, definitely not. This little video was just for entertainment purposes. I know they just name the superhero characters with the same first and last initial because it flows well. Entertainment only.
This is Ashtar Spaceship News. This recording was from a person in New Jersey at 2 a.m. in the morning getting out of work. Now things are getting even weirder. What do you think this is? What's going on, folks?
When people listen to the same piece of music, even if they're not together, their brain waves literally synchronize. The brain activity is synchronized in time. We're literally on the same wavelength. If we're in the same room with people while we're listening to music together, say in a concert, not only are the brain waves synchronized, but we're experiencing an exchange of oxytocin, this hormone that binds us together as a people. Oxytocin played a role in ancient prehistory and caveman days, where we would sing around the fire all night to ward off predators or a neighboring angry tribe, and we became bonded to one another. It's the reason that armies have marches. It helps them to feel more cohesive.
Hi guys, right, more developments on this drone situation. At the moment, according to Fox News, the frequency has been increasing and it is not going down. They keep appearing in the said areas across different counties in New Jersey. They are now starting to penetrate into the state of New York. There are early reports now that people are seeing these things across some smaller counties within the New York area. So anyone in those areas, you know, if you do follow the channel, please give me a shout and let me know if you're getting any visuals of these things at night time. Apparently, they're not being seen during the day, just in the evenings. There has been reports of an E-2D Hawkeye, which is basically an early warning system. It's an aircraft that flies in the area to survey for any incoming threats. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to locate where these things are originating from, because they don't understand how they're showing up and then just disappearing at their own will. Yeah, that's it for now, guys. It's going to be a short one because this is coming in hot and fast. That's from Fox News, which you can find, and of course, on their YouTube channel. This was posted on the 8th of December today, approximately 30 minutes ago. Local time here in the UK is now 16:13. So, yeah, this is the earliest bit of news I've got, but they do seem to be increasing, and there are now early reports that there's sightings now, unconfirmed, in the state of New York in smaller counties across those areas. That's all for now, guys. Thank you very much.